Hello, students. Continuing our discussion on the barriers in communication. There are few codes in communication which are very good to understand. The first code that I want to tell you here is good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Many times, what happens that when we are communicating with people in our career, bound to happen confusion because of certain statement not being able to understand. There is less clarity in the presentation, and these are the things that we should understand when we are communicating. Further, another quote that I would like to tell, that the most important thing in communication is to hear. You should have a good listening capacity, which will be taken in the further sessions of this course. But the listening, you have to listen. Then, once you listen a statement, there will be more clarity and there will be less confusion. So, the most important thing while communicating is to listen. Another quote that many people talk about is communication works for those who work on it. Communication is all about practice. Practice with your colleagues, practice with your subordinates, practice with your higher management. The more you speak, the more you come out of your statements, the more you come out of you are able to express your words, the more you will be better in communication. So you have to work on it. You have to work on it, and you cannot avoid communication saying that I'm not good in communication. No, that's a negative approach. Have a positive approach. There are bound to happen errors, there are bound to happen mistakes, but unless and until you don't try, you are not going to succeed. So if I talk about the previous session, I talked about the barriers in communication, noise, closed doors, faulty equipments, and closed cabins. There are certain physical barriers also. Now, when I'm standing in front of you, I'm standing in front of you and speaking with you face to face, the communication is much, much better. Once a desk come in between the speaker and the listener, the barrier increases. जो हमारे बीच एक टेबल है या एक कुर्सी है या कुछ भी है, एक अलमारी है, कुछ भी हो, फिजिकल बैरियर आता है. उसके बाद आजकल आपने देखा होगा ऑफिसेस में क्यूबिकल्स बनते हैं बच्चों. ये क्यूबिकल्स अनदर फिजिकल बैरियर. अगर मुझे क्यूबिकल के अदर साइड बात करना है तो आई हैव टू स्टैंड अप एंड देन स्पीक. Again, there will be barrier, there will be problem, there will be confusion, there will be less clarity. Office dividers, these are called as office dividers, where cubicles are being constructed, where dividers are there between two colleagues and you are not able to speak up. So this is another physical barrier that happens. And the last is, I always say, office cabin closed. You should not keep it closed. Another barrier is perceptual barrier. कई बार क्या होता है कि जब हम किसी की बात सुन रहे हैं, हम किसी को सुन रहे हैं, हमारा ध्यान कहीं और होता है. कई बार हम कुछ सुन रहे हैं, उसका अर्थ हम अलग निकाल लेते हैं, उसका मीनिंग अलग निकाल लेते हैं. जैसे कि अगर मैं आपको कहता हूं कि काइंडली शट योर माउथ, you might perceive that I am arrogant, you might perceive that I am angry with you, but that is not the truth. That is not the truth. I am being very professional with you and I am telling you to shut your mouth. That is, keep your mouth shut. It can be countered with a better language. आप आप कृपया शांत रहिए. You be quiet. This can be done, but many times it doesn't happen. And that's again a barrier that happens. What I perceive, what I think. If my tone is little bit upper and down, then the other person thinks that I'm angry. Again, the perception might be wrong, but I'm not angry. I'm very professional. I am up to the point. The next is emotional barrier. जब हम एक ऑफिस में काम करते हैं जहां 10-20 लोग काम करते हैं, students, there are going to be difference of opinion. आपकी कई बात मुझे नहीं समझ में आएंगी या मुझे पसंद नहीं आएंगी, कई बात मुझे आपकी पसंद नहीं आएंगी. So this difference of opinion creates a negative feeling, and this negative feeling creates a barrier that you don't listen to the other person. Whatever he says, it might be good for us, but still we feel that why he's saying, the negative feeling comes. The second is bad experience. What happened that once I went to office for clearing my bills, and I went to the clerk and I asked him, what is the status of my bill? Very angrily he said, आज मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, कल आना. The way he spoke, it was my bad experience. So I came back to my office and I told my boss that I'm not going to go there again because I had a bad experience. He said, the clerk might be in a very bad, what you call, emotional status. He might have a bad headache. He might have a bad fight with her, with somebody at home. So give him another chance. But second time also it repeated. So one bad experience might not create this emotional barrier, but if the experience is continuously happening, it is bound to have an emotional barrier, and I'm reluctant to go to that place. रिसेंटली मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ कि मैं एक दुकान में गया कि हेयर डाई खरीदने के लिए. तो उस दिन आई फॉरगॉट टू वेयर माय स्पेक्स. तो मैं जब शॉप में गया मैंने देखा मुझे गार्नियर और लॉरियल में फर्क नहीं मालूम पड़ा. मुझे लॉरियल खरीदना था, मैंने गार्नियर खरीदा और घर आ गया. My wife said that I want L'Oreal. So I came back to the shop and I said कि गलती से मेरे से गार्नियर उठ गया है, मुझे लॉरियल चाहिए. तो I took L'Oreal black. I came home. I was getting late for my office, so I told my wife that I have brought this. She said, "Oh, you have brought black. I want brown." I said, "Today I will not be able to do because I have to go to my office. I'm getting late." So she said, "Okay, tomorrow you do it." So next day when I went to the same shop, the boy who was sitting on the counter got so angry with me कि एक बार गलती होती, दो बार गलती, बार बार अगर आएंगे तो मैं क्या करूंगा. And the way he spoke, again a bad experience. I came back home. I told my wife that I will never go to that place because of my bad experience. He might be right at his place, but that emotional barrier, the way he spoke to me, the experience that I had, I will not go to that place. The third is influence of others. किसी और ने कहा वहां नहीं जाना, किसी और ने कहा उससे बात नहीं करना. इमोशनल बैरियर आया, आपने बात करना बंद कर दिया. Okay, this is a emotional barrier. Then comes cultural barrier. Cultural barrier are honesty, openness, diligence, sense of humor. Certain people are very honest, very true to their statement. Whatever they speak truth. And when this happens with people, there are many people who might not accept that honesty and might not accept the statement that you're speaking, and your honesty might be a hurdle, might be a barrier for you. The second is openness. The openly you talk to people, openly you complain, you share your views with your peers, expecting that it will help him. But no, your openness might be a barrier. बहुत ज्यादा खुल के बात करते हैं, पसंद नहीं आता मुझे। बहुत ज्यादा ओपन माइंडेड है, मुझे पसंद नहीं। कुछ लोग बहुत मजाकिया होते हैं, हर बात में मजाक करते हैं, हर बात को मजाक में लेके उसको हैंडल करते हैं। कोई गलती नहीं उसमें, देयर इज नो फॉल्ट, बट अदर पर्सन उसको मजाक में लेगा या नहीं लेगा ये हमको नहीं। तो अगेन योर सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर माइट बिकम अ कल्चरल बैरियर फॉर यू। Next, I already spoken on language barriers. Tamil person speaking in Tamil with a Hindi person who doesn't know the language, because India is a country where so many languages are being spoken. So they are bound to happen language barrier. The next is in a culture where we reside in India, a lady speaking to a man and a man speaking to a lady is a gender barrier. I have met many people who say that I'm not comfortable talking to you, many ladies. And many men are reluctant to speak to ladies. The words doesn't come out. They are not open. They are not free to speak. And that is called a gender barrier. And interpersonal barrier, if you go to a career, you are bound to see this day in and day out, that a subordinate cannot talk to a boss cannot talk to a subordinate. A boss, what he does, he tells some other person to speak to the subordinate. The subordinate WhatsApp, he doesn't call on the phone. So these are interpersonal barriers. So in the previous slide, I talked about certain barriers like noise, closed doors, faulty equipment, closed cabins. And further, these are some physical barriers, some perceptual barriers, emotional barriers, cultural barriers, language barriers, gender barriers, and interpersonal barriers. Now we come to the last segment of our unit one, that is how to speak. How to speak with people. So what I do, I stop sharing this. So whenever you want to speak or to want to communicate with others, there are 6 things that I'm going to tell you in this segment of how to speak. The first is relax your body. Students, many times what happens that when we are speaking with somebody and we are under a lot of stress or not opening up, we are bound to create confusion and less clarity of our statements. और जो कम्युनिकेशन के प्रॉब्लम्स है ना करियर में, बॉस से न बात करना या अपनी बात न रखना, इसका कारण ये है कि हमारा बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर, हमारा हम बॉडी को कैसे रखते हैं, हम अपने अपने आप को कैसे अपनी पर्सनालिटी को कैसे प्रेजेंट करते हैं. सो यू हैव टू रिलैक्स योर बॉडी, एंड वंस यू रिलैक्स योर बॉडी द वर्ड्स विल कम ऑटोमेटिकली. So how to relax your body? Well, there are different postures when you are speaking. Lot of hand movements like what I am doing creates confusion, are barriers in communicating. So when you are speaking, keep your hands on the both the sides of your legs and speak. Recently I was seeing a video by Asha Bose. She was addressing a gathering in one of the programs. And she said that I went to a great singer, Yashwant Dev, and I told him that I want to learn music from him. So he said that I'm not a great singer, but since you have come, you are such a great singer also. I will just tell you. I said, um, say sa. So she started singing. And the moment she made her hand movement, he said that you have to sing from mouth. Why you are making hand movements? Why you are expressing yourself? Why your face is contorted? फेस एक्सप्रेशन जब हमारे हमारे खराब होते हैं या हमारे आंखें ऊपर होती है या माथे पे शिकन आती है, दिस इज नॉट प्रॉपर कम्युनिकेशन. This is not a relaxed body. So, students, the first and foremost thing, whenever you are giving a message, giving a lecture, giving a suggestion, giving an advice, always relax your body. So, um, this is an assignment that I'm giving you. After listening to this lecture, go home or stand in front of the mirror, relax and start speaking. Relax and start speaking. Record it in a mobile, listen to it again, relax your body. So, this first step, if you are able to do, then further steps are simpler. Thank you very much.